is what it do, everybody? Today we got another reaction video for y'all boys. All right, today we got disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Enough talking, let's get to it. Roll to 3K.
Camping is supposed to be
Oh!
a peaceful escape, a crackling.
Yeah, oh, see, if I see this shit,
Camping is
if I
supposed
open my tent, that's not even a baby bear, bro. That's a full grown ass Undertaker, like old steroid bear right there, bro.
Peaceful escape, a crackling
like
fire
crack
under
bear.
the stars, the soothing sounds of nature. But in the
What
dark
the
wilderness, not everything is as it seems.
I mean,
Mysterious
yeah.
Strangers lurking
Oh,
outside your
nah.
window, to unseen
What the fuck? Why would you even choose that camping ground?
creatures watching from the trees. The
Oh my
following
God,
real
Sasquatch!
encounters will make you think twice about that next overnight.
What is
in the
that?
woods. These are some of the most disturbing.
An
camping
octopus out of
encounters ever
water?
caught on camera. Viewer discretion is
All right,
advised.
that's fake.
A father and daughter's relaxing forest hike turned into a scene from
Uh-oh.
a horror movie when they stumbled upon a cabin surrounded by hanging mannequins deep in the woods. Gary and his daughter Amika were exploring a forest in Scotland when Amika
What?
said she heard voices echoing through the trees.
Hell
they
nah.
discovered a remote shed.
Wait, why would you follow the sounds? If you hear echoing voices in the woods and you say, oh, what is that, Scooby-Doo? What is that, Raggy? Let's go see. No, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to look
Decorated
for it,
with
bro.
Dozens of old mannequins, some perched in trees on makeshift ladders.
Who does
others
this?
Scattered on the ground. The figures were dressed in tattered clothes and posed eerily, watching the intruders with blank faces. Outside
Bro, get out of there, bro, because whoever did this is psychotic and scary as fuck,
the
bro.
cabin hung bizarre, unsettling paintings adding to the nightmare scene. There was
This
no
person
sign
got
of
problems.
who created this disturbing display, but whoever it was clearly went through a lot of trouble to be as creepy as possible. Gary recorded the entire chilling discovery on a video titled Terrifying Cabin in the Woods.
Get out of there, man.
UK. As they hastily left the area, a car was heard approaching on a nearby trail.
A car?
Sending a jolt of fear through the pair. Thankfully,
Oh,
they made it back to
no.
their van without confronting anyone, and to this day, the purpose of the mannequin cabin remains a mystery.
They said
and
they-
locals whisper about who or what maintains that grotesque
They heard a fucking car pull up?
forest display.
What the
It is a
fuck?
reminder that in the wild, you might find human-made horrors lurking just beyond the next tree. A camper's worst nightmare came true when a bear ripped into a tent, and the harrowing encounter was caught on video. In a YouTube video titled "Bear Attacked Me in My Tent," solo camper Gregor from the channel Dot documents the
Let's see,
terrifying
man.
moment a wild bear invaded his campsite.
Was it that
He'd set
big-ass
up
bear?
camp alone in a dense forest, only one day to be jolted alive by the sound of snapping branches and heavy grunts right outside his thin nylon shelter. Suddenly, a black bear's snout and claws can be seen through the tent
Oh!
fabric, crashing inches from Gregor's
Hey, that's just my wife waking up in the morning. Nah, I'm kidding.
face. In the shaky footage, you can hear Gregor shouting
Nah.
and banging to scare the animal off.
What is it?
Miraculously, the bear retreated after a few tense moments, and Gregor was left unharmed.
If it's
aside
brown, stay
from
down.
a
If it's white,
racing
say
heart.
goodnight.
The
If it's
description
black,
of the
fight
video
back.
Posted, quote, "It was scary. A bear attacked my
I ain't gonna lie, a bear is a fucking bear. Run, alright? Get the fuck out of there. Ain't no way I see a big ass bear and I'm gonna just lay down and hope he doesn't attack me. Like, this nigga's gonna eat you, bro.
in the forest.
He's gonna
when I was
jump on you,
camping
pound you
alone.
down.
It's better not
Pause,
to camp
pause,
alone.
pause.
The video, which was posted in 2023,
Why are
and
you
now has
camping
over 2
alone? That's
million
weird.
views, is a stark reality check
Who
that
camps
camping
by
in bear
themselves, bro?
country
You gotta
means
have
you're
balls of
never
steel to
alone.
do some
Even
shit like that.
a quiet moment can turn deadly in an instant if a curious bear decides to investigate your tent.
That
Would you
looks like a
spend the
nice
night
place.
in a pitch black cave rumored to be haunted? One brave
Hell
YouTuber
no.
did, and his camera captured unexplained phenomena that sent him
No,
running.
what
Australian
happened?
Adventurer Matt accepted a dare to camp
What
overnight
is
in an
that?
abandoned cave deep in the outback, believed by locals to be cursed. He filmed his experience.
Why
in a
the
video
fuck would you
titled
go?
Sleeping in a haunted cave, never again. At first, Matt treats it like any
That won't even
survival
cross
trip.
my mind,
he hikes
bro.
4 hours to reach the cave and crawls through narrow tunnels to find a spot to camp. By nightfall, however, things take a terrifying turn. As Matt eats his simple dinner by lantern light, a loud metallic clatter echoes from the cave entrance. He swings his camera around to find the heavy heavy iron chain he
What is
climbs
that?
down, swaying and clanking on its own, even though no wind blows underground. Did you hear that?
Hell
Look at my
nah.
arms. I've got full goosebumps, Matt whispers, showing the camera his hair standing on end. Gathering his courage, he investigates only to hear hissing, almost human-like whispers emanating from deeper
What
in the
the
cavern
fuck?
around 1 a.m. At this
Bro.
point, Matt's nerves break. On camera, his voice
Get
shakes
out of
as
there.
he announces, "I'm getting out of here. That sound was not normal, and I'm scared." He spends the remaining hours of darkness anxiously waiting near the cave's entrance.
But imagine this man's battery died. Man, like, of course you're gonna regret. What did you expect to happen, bro? Like, you're gonna sleep in a haunted cave by yourself, and like a Thanksgiving feast was gonna be there, and you're gonna have your own personal chef and shit. Like, what do you think was gonna be there? No, you're gonna shit yourself. You're gonna get scared and cursed and booed. All right. Not
Until
booed
sunrise
up, but like
finally
booed, like
allows him to
scared.
escape
Y'all know what I mean.
safely. Matt's footage from that night is bone-chilling. The moving chain and eerie noises suggest that he was not alone in that cave. Whether it was restless spirits or a hidden person, we may
Whoa,
never know
look at
for
the
sure,
lights.
but
Why is
Matt
it changing
swears
color?
He will never return to that haunted cave.
I mean, I'm
A
pretty
solo
sure like
camper's
99%
GoPro
of people
captured
do
the
that.
heart-stopping moment. A mountain lion stalked her campsite, proving you might not be the only predator around the campfire.
Whoa.
In late 2021, outdoors woman Nadine was backpacking
Look
in
at
a
him
national
camouflaging.
park in Arizona and set up camp.
Oh,
at
and
a
this is
remote
in
site
Arizona.
called Grass Shack. During the day, she noticed deer in the area acting kind of agitated, a sign that she later realized meant a big cat was nearby.
Uh-oh.
Nadine heard something rustling just outside her camp.
I
and she
think I could
started
take on a
recording,
big cat.
showing a huge mountain lion clinging to a tree trunk only 10 feet away, eyes fixed
10
on her.
feet
The
away?
footage shows the lion's glowing eyes and muscular silhouette as it crouched.
Nah, that
ready
man
to pounce.
hungry,
Nadine
bro.
can be heard speaking in a steady, firm voice, a tactic to
That
assert
cat hungry as
dominance,
fuck.
slowly
Yeah, I'd
reaching
catch
for
that
her
cat
bear
by his
spray. Quote,
fucking
"I
neck
lobbed
and
rocks
slam him,
with
bro."
one hand and had bear spray ready in the other," she later
Bear
wrote.
spray? That's a
Eventually,
thing?
flock
Like
of
pepper spray?
scrub jays flew over and started to bother the cat, leading to him climbing down from the tree, and eventually he left and she packed up and hightailed it out of there.
She got the
Park
fuck
rangers
outta
later
there.
closed that campsite, calling it the most alarming human mountain lion encounter in decades. This experience
Decades?
is just a reminder that out in the wild, you are a part of the food chain.
Man,
A
she's
group of
lucky to
friends
be
on a
alive,
camping
man.
trip captured something otherworldly streaking across the sky.
What
A
happened?
real UFO caught on camera.
UFO?
in the wilderness. In January 2024, 5 campers were goofing around at a campground in Argentina, filming a slow
Argentina?
motion video for fun. They set up a phone to record one friend jumping to headbutt a volleyball, intending to play it back in slow-mo, and the group laughed and carried on, thinking nothing of it, until they watched the footage.
Yo, why is it
later
in
that
240p,
night. In the video's
bro?
background, a bright, fast-moving object zips across the twilight sky at an impossible speed. In real time, it was too fast to notice, but slowed down, the object is clearly visible shooting behind
Where
the
am I looking
trees
at?
above their heads. It wasn't an airplane, no engine
Bro, that was a
sound,
bird, bro. What are you
blinking
talking
lights,
about?
and it wasn't a meteor. The
That's not a
path was
UFO.
straight and controlled. Baffled, the campers shared the clip online, where local news picked it up as a possible UFO sighting. The object appeared
I
to
was
be
not no
40 meters
UFO,
wide
bro.
and emitted no sound. And one thing is certain: that night, these friends captured something uncanny in the sky, turning a casual camping trip into an X-Files episode. A shaky camcorder video from 2001 might be one of the best
2001?
pieces of Bigfoot evidence ever recorded, captured during a
Uh-oh,
youth
we got a
camping
Bigfoot
expedition
sighting.
in the mountains.
How y'all
The
feel about
footage,
Bigfoot?
known as the Marble Mountain Bigfoot video, was filmed by a youth group leader named Jim Mills on a trip in Northern California. Jim had led a dozen teens into the Marble Mountains wilderness for a
Yeah, that
week
just
of
sounds
backpacking.
wrong.
One evening, the group stumbled
Leading a
upon
dozen of
strange
teens to the woods?
makeshift
That don't
shelter
even
of
sound
broken
right.
tree branches that looked like a giant nest or hut. Puzzled, they kept their camcorder rolling. Soon after, one of the campers shouted and pointed at a ridge about 150 yards away. The video, which you can watch on YouTube, shows a tall bipedal figure walking upright along the ridge against the sunset. In the zoomed-in footage, the silhouetted figure appears massive and ape-like, swinging its arms as it walks. At one point, it even stops to crouch or possibly pick.
Is it me or did he kind of look like the Grinch, bro? Like the real life Grinch. You know, he got that like that beer belly, a little fur, a little fuzz on his head. You know what I'm talking about?
Then
Maybe it's just a
again.
big lady.
The kids can be heard shouting in
Oh,
astonishment,
nah.
realizing that they might be seeing the legendary.
That looks
Jimmy
scary.
filmed the creature for a full 3 minutes, making this one of the longest Bigfoot videos on record. No human hiker would be casually strolling off trail.
Y'all
at
think
dusk
Bigfoot is
in
real?
that
Let me know.
treacherous
Let me
area,
know what
and
y'all think
certainly
down below.
not in a bulky gorilla suit in 2001's summer heat. Bigfoot researchers later analyzed the clip and noted the figure's smooth, long strides and enormous size, consistent with Sasquatch sightings. Imagine waking up in your camper van at 2 a.m. to realize someone outside has locked you in from the outside. A nightmare
What?
scenario one van lifer experienced and recorded.
Wait, how do you get locked from? What? You're inside your van and you got locked in? Don't you just unlock it and
In
get?
September
The
2022,
fuck?
a travel vlogger named Sean was stealth camping in his van on
Okay.
a quiet roadside in Cornwall, UK. He was trying to sleep discreetly in a no parking zone, all lights off, when he heard a car pull up and faint shuffling around his vehicle. The next morning, to his
Nah.
shock, the van's doors wouldn't open. As he stuck his camera out
That's
the window, he showed that
scary.
there was now something wrapped around his handles, effectively locking him in
Oh.
from the outside. At the end of the day, he's not sure what intention the people had for him or his belongings.
What's the
but
point
they
of that?
were all just
I
glad
mean-
this was the worst thing that happened. A lone backpacker's night vision
That's
camera accidentally
that's not too. You were in a no parking zone, my guy.
captured pairs
But
of
that is
glowing
weird.
eyes
Like, whose
watching
solution
him
is
from the
let's lock him
darkness,
in?
and he didn't even
He wants to
realize
stay here,
it
we'll let him
until
stay
he
here.
reviewed the footage. In April 2019, a YouTuber named Jason of the Appy Mountain Truckers channel embarked on a solo camping trip in the Appalachian Mountains. He filmed his overnight adventure.
Yeah,
for
he
his
looked like he
channel
climbed
and
mountains for a
unknowingly
living.
documented a
looked like
mystery
he-
lurking
he
just
does
beyond
ends and
the
smokes
fire
cigarettes.
fight. In the video, Jason sets up camp and settles in for a
Yes,
quiet
yes, I'm being
night,
racist,
and around
guys.
9:30 p.m. he records himself hearing a strange guttural howl echo from a distant ridge. Quote, "I've never heard anything like
Hey,
that,"
y'all heard the
he tells
Outdoor
camera,
Boys,
describing it as a mix between a
retired?
pig's snort
That's
and
crazy.
an ape's hoot, almost like, quote, how velociraptors communicate in Jurassic Park.
What the
Unnerved
fuck?
but unable to locate
You
the
seen a
source,
dinosaur,
Jason
my guy?
eventually
What are you
crawls
trying to
back
say?
inside. A few hours later, past midnight, he wakes up again hearing crunching footsteps circling the campsite.
Hell
Jason
nah.
wakes to faint noises and
Fuck
briefly
no,
pans
man.
his flashlight around, seeing nothing. But in that brief moment, the camera captures what Jason's naked eye missed. Two sets of fiery white eye shine staring from the edge of the forest. The reflective glow suggests large animals, likely wolves.
Ah,
or
you was
coyotes,
about to get
observing him
eaten.
quietly in the dark.
By a
Chillingly,
wolf.
Jason didn't notice the eyes at the
Man,
time.
looked like a
He
wolf.
spoke to the camera about the footsteps, chalking it up to maybe a deer, and went back to sleep. It was only later when viewers pointed out in the comments that he realized predators had been watching him. Jason
That's
made it through
scary.
the night oblivious.
Hey,
but
that
when he
man's
saw
blessed,
the
man. He's
footage,
lucky.
He admitted it gave him chills knowing how close unseen creatures came to his camp.
Yeah, you're lucky
A
to be
man
alive,
camping in
man.
an RV awoke to the sound of a woman screaming. Travel vlogger Tom was in a remote area of Arizona camping in his truck camper amid desert silence.
All right.
His video, however, shows how quickly things went from serene to dangerous. Around 3 a.m., Tom hears the screams, which wake him up, and he goes out
At
camera
3 a.m.?
recording to see what is happening. As he goes out to see if she needs help, he ends up hearing shots fired. Of course, this completely freaks him out, and he begins to retreat back inside of his RV. Unfortunately, this was not the end of the nightmare. As Tom is inside the RV, he then hears a banging on his RV door.
No!
He continues to hide inside of the RV when he hears this mysterious person begin trying to break in. This is all pure nightmare fuel, and I can't even imagine how terrified he must have been.
If I hear screaming at 3 a.m. in the woods, gunshots fired, and then banging on my RV and them trying to get in, dude, if he doesn't have a weapon on him, right? Yeah, I'm sitting in there, and if the person gets in, I'm scaring the fuck out of them, right? Because I feel like people don't think about it. Like, imagine a robber breaking in the house. Imagine if you scare them, they're gonna shit themselves, all right? Unless they're fucking Batman and they're not scared of shit, all right? Because I know if I was a thief and I'm breaking it, like I'm trying to sneak. If someone jumped at me, I'd freak out and I'd run. I'm gonna be honest. That's
In the
just me
end,
though.
The mysterious person does end up gaining access to the RV by breaking into the underbelly storage and crawling under the floor to get inside. But thankfully, Tom had an alarm that began to go off as the intruder broke in, which ended up scaring him off and possibly saving Tom from whatever grim fate may have
He got
befallen
in?
the RV. In a final encounter that
No
will send shivers down
way.
your spine, a
Okay,
camper
what happened
documented
here?
persistent, eerie knocks on his RV door at night from an unseen visitor who simply wouldn't go away. YouTuber Tom from the Work Less, Enjoy Life More, the same RV camper we just talked about, had another disturbing experience while camping solo in a dense forest. Tom, I feel like
Let's
camping
see,
just
man. Let's
might
see what
not be for
happens.
you. Tom sets up a camp in a secluded clearing and settles in for a quiet night.
They
of
said this is
filming
number
a
one.
camping vlog. Sometime in the evening, as he is cooking himself a meal, he begins to hear footsteps outside of his RV. These footsteps are persistent, and you can tell someone or something is walking out there. Throughout the night, the mysterious
Footsteps
person
outside?
continuously knocks on the RV. Some knocks louder than others, but all completely terrifying. Tom didn't sleep at all that
Like,
night.
what are
and as
people
soon as he was
doing,
able,
bro?
He got the heck out of there. And as he was leaving the site, he apparently saw a lawn chair where he believes the person was sitting in order to continue watching him all
What the
night. I don't know.
fuck?
It sounds like Tom needs to start staying in the city. All right, let's do some hotel, some glamping, actually. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I am not going camping after I seen this video. I don't know about y'all, but hey, I ain't trying to put up with any type of conflict like that. I don't want to have to knock a bitch out. But that's the end of the video. Make sure boys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see next. And I'll see you boys in.